Well, the ASX 200 has closed down 2.2% for the week, really dragged lower by that energy sector, which was down 5.8% in the wake of those oil prices continuing to tumble. We did see them falling to fresh 5.5-year lows during the week. The only two sectors that actually closed in positive territory this week was the property sector and the telco sector. And of course, that's a result of investors continuing to seek yield, given that there is now fresh speculation that the next move by the RBA will in fact be a cut in interest rates. Having a look at the data side of things, we saw weak business and consumer confidence data coming through, which really added pressure on the consumer sectors. We saw that employment data surprisingly lifting, but of course that was dragged higher by part-time employment. And we also saw that unemployment rate rising to 6.3% as expected, but of course that's added to that speculation of a cut in interest rates. Over in the US, we are continuing to see strong data coming through, really showing signs that the economy is still gaining momentum. We saw that jobs report reaching a 5.5-year high, unemployment remained steady at 5.8%, and retail sales rose for the most that we've seen in about 8 months or so. But of course, all of this really putting pressure on the Fed to raise interest rates over in the US. In Europe, we did actually see fresh political uncertainty coming out of Greece, which really added pressure on the European stocks. And of course, looking at China and Japan, we did see some soft data coming through, which of course has added to a lot of the concerns about a slowdown in global growth. Having a look ahead, it will be a fairly quiet week next week in terms of local economic data. There will be a few AGMs coming out that we'll be very closely watching. On Monday, we have new motor vehicle sales coming through. On Tuesday, we have the RBA minutes of the December meeting. And of course, that will be closely watched for any signs of a cut in interest rates. We have Treasury Wine Estates AGM. And of course, over in China, we also have that manufacturing data coming out. On Wednesday, we have TENS AGM. On Thursday, we have AGMs out from ANZ, NAB, GrainCorp and Dulux. And finally, on Friday, we have AGMs out from Incitec Pivot and iProperty Group as well. Looking globally, I think the big focus next week will be that FOMC meeting on Wednesday in the US. And of course, that's going to be very closely watched in terms of any clues in terms of interest rate hikes over in the US. If we look at the market so far this year, we are down about 2.5%, but I do expect that commodities and of course those oil prices will continue to weigh over the next few weeks or so coming into the year end.